came to Geelong West in, I think it was around 1973, 74. I only played a couple of years at West, but was lucky enough to play in the 75 grand final, and obviously that's a long-lasting memory and a memory that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Prior to that, I left Tasmania as a 16-year-old farm boy and came across and played with Geelong under-19s for a couple of years, then progressed through to the reserves and played 22, 23 games with the seniors, so I was very, very lucky there. Got to meet some really nice people, and obviously moving from a small country town of Tasmania, coming across to a city the size of Geelong was a bit daunting for initially, but overall it was a life-changing experience for me, and something that really set me up for the rest of my life. And it was interesting because about 15 of us, I think it was around 15 of us, came across from Geelong in 73 to play with Geelong West. So right from under-19s, reserves and seniors at Geelong, we all stuck together for a fair period of time. And so we played a lot of football together, a group of us for that period. I was lucky enough at Geelong to play the reserves, captain reserves team. Won 2 best and fairest in the reserves, runner-up I think in one other year. So I had a reasonably good career at Geelong, but then saw the opportunity at Geelong West with Billy as coach, who'd transferred across a couple of years previous, to play in what I would see as a very successful team, because I think as the group that came across from Geelong, we all saw Geelong West with Billy as coach as being successful, and we all craved for playing in a grand final. It was our one success, and that's what you play for, and we were able to do that, and that was something that as a group we still remain friends, we still remain good mates, and it was just a very, very unique team in that we were all very, very close, not just the players but the players' wives, and it was interesting to see each other grow through and gain the experience as we go through life. So that, from that point of view, that was good. I only played for 2 years at Geelong West. After winning the grand final, I'm a person that likes new challenges and was offered a position at Ocean Grove in the Bellarine Football League to coach there, and I coached there for 3 years. It was a team at that stage that had won very few games previously. In the first couple of years we'd made finals, which was really good. Had some Geelong West players came down and played in that period with me, and again we had a great time, and it was a good experience for us all. I then moved to Melbourne with my work and played in the played with Bundoora Football Club in the Diamond Valley League, and that was a very, very tough league. Again, won my second premiership there at Bundoora. I was assistant coach for a period of about 3 years, and as I said, it was a pretty tough league. I then transferred again with work through back to Tasmania, to Launceston, and that was a great opportunity for me because it was moving back home. I hadn't been home for a fair period of time, so it was great to be able to take my children back to see farm life and experience that side of life. It was a much slower life, and we moved to Launceston, and I played with a team there called City South, which was a very old traditional team in northern Tasmania. Had some great players there that played for Tasmania, and some had obviously played in the VFL. Phil Moyer, John Bonney was coach, I was his assistant coach, and chairman of selectors for a period of about 3 years. And then after that I retired and went playing tennis with my family, and it was my wife had never been a sports lady before. We both took up tennis with our children, and still playing tennis through to this day, so it was a great time. I was quite devastated to leave the Geelong Footy Club, because obviously as a young boy growing up, living in Tasmania and listening to the VFL, the top line football on ABC radio Saturday afternoons, that was always your ambition. So to come across as a young kid, move into a big city as far as I was concerned at that stage, living by yourself, no family. All your life was revolved around football. You wanted to be successful, so you dedicated your whole life to being successful. So at the end of that time, it was a bit gut-wrenching. I was really never told that I wasn't needed, but when Billy approached me to come across to Geelong West, I could really see the writing on the wall, because obviously he'd had a list of players from Geelong that were going to be moved on. And that was okay. If it had been anybody other than Billy coaching, I probably may not have come across, because I had offers from Canberra and back in Tasmania to go back there and play and coach. So I may well have gone back to Tasmania, but because Billy was one of my idols, I played with Billy, I played in his last game. I had enormous respect for him. He'd been successful, I think, in Division 2 with the team, and because a lot of people that I'd played with before at Geelong were moving across as well, I think the decision was pretty easy in the end. I would describe myself as a player that was always wanted to be consistent. I suppose I'd look at each game and look at where I could improve on the next week. So I would see myself as a consistent player. I took up pro foot running just after moving to Geelong, because I wasn't a big player or a tall player, so I was small and light in stature. So taking up foot running gave me the ability of being reasonably quick. So I would see myself as a quick player. I was reasonably good at anticipating reading the play and where the ball may be going or coming to me, and I was a reasonable kick. And I'm sure a lot of the West forward line players would appreciate the skills of the Geelong West back line, because all of them were reasonably good deliverers of the ball into the forward line, and that was a real strength of the team. Something that the club had been building towards for a fair period of time. It had gathered a group of business people. It had a great coach, a great coaching staff, the trainers. Everybody around the club knew that we were primed to win a premiership. And so when the day came, I suppose we were all nervous, we were apprehensive, but when you were driving up the Geelong Road and saw busloads of supporters that were going up to watch you play, it sort of made there was an air of excitement about the whole thing. Even though the day was going to be exciting anyway, I think there was that strong will that we were going to win regardless. And we had a really good team. We'd played together, a lot of us had played together for a long time. We trusted each other. We trusted what the coach was telling us. And we knew that if we ran down the ground to accept a handball or to run off our man, we knew that we would be backed up. And your man would be picked up. So you could take risks and knew that you weren't going to fall flat in your face. And so you had a lot of trust in the people you were playing with. I suppose my memory of the day was that running out onto the ground, I didn't expect the amount of people there that were there. I think I'm not sure, probably 30,000 people at the Fitzroy Oval, with all the marching girls and all the fanfare before the game. It was a really exciting time, and I suppose the most courageous thing I think that I've seen on a footy ground was, I think it was that day where Howard Smith got hit by Frosty Miller and broke his jaw. And that was early in the game, and Howard refused to come off and played the match with a broken jaw. And that would be one of the more courageous things I've ever seen done on a footy ground. So those memories, and then when the siren went and the excitement of ultimately winning your first grand final was pretty special, because I played in a couple of losing ones as well, so that made it even more special. Because as I said earlier, a lot of us had been together for a long time, so you build a bond, and we did have a very, very strong bond within the team. Billy was a fairly strong disciplinarian and made sure that we were really all on the right track, and I think that gave us that strength within each other to understand, know, and more importantly, trust each other. But the footy club really is the makings of you as an individual, and I think that 2 years for me at Geelong West was certainly helped me as an individual to further my career and my life, put things in perspective. But again, if I look back, really the bond that we had with the players and the friendships that you created, well, not just the players but the wives and the families, was pretty important to me.
You've given your heart to get here and your soul to get it right. You can take 'em boots and all, but it's sure gonna take a fight. When you spend all week getting to your peak, you're gonna have your say. You bet. On Sunday, it's the BFA. It's Sunday, you're gonna make your play for the BFA. Today you're gonna fly. It's Sunday for the BFA. It's Sunday, yes Sunday. It's Sunday for the BFA. It's Sunday.